This will be a trip to the Mormon Mountains, which are about 30 miles north of Overton. We're taking off on runway 31 to the northwest. At the end of the runway, we'll get a view of Crafty's Featherworks plant, as usual. Off to the left side will be the Valley of Fire and the Moapa Valley. That's a little greener area. Probably won't have a lot of commentary on this video. There is Crafty's Featherworks plant, the evaporation pond. And we're making a right-hand turn, which is normal for the traffic pattern. And coming up on the right-hand side, there's kind of a flat greenish line or greenish area. Right there it is. And that is the top of the Mormon Mesa. And just about in the center of the green are the Mormon Mountains. There's a smaller mountain a little bit to the right, and then a bigger one. We're heading north, and we're crossing Interstate 15. I noticed that patchy black stuff on the ground. Those are shadows from the clouds, and those thin clouds are right above us. You can see both clouds and shadows. Makes it kind of hard to see what's on the ground. It's almost like camouflage. And just beyond Interstate 15, which of course goes from Las Vegas to Salt Lake City, there is that white streak that's pretty straight. Paralleling the road is a power line, which presumably goes between the same two places. And there we have the Mormon Mountains. There's a smaller mountain to the left, a bigger area a little bit to the right, and we'll fly around the small area first, get a look at the valley between them, and then go around the bigger area. Maybe a little bit of snow up on some of the peaks. We've had an awful lot of snow and rain. Rain mostly, and snow in some of the higher elevations this year. Now I'm flying with the mountains on my left side, but on the right side there are large flat areas, which are either mesas, just flat areas on the desert. I always try and fly. I could fly alongside the mountains, but always have the flat area within easy gliding distance. And I think we're looking at a valley. There's a little greenish area. There are, as usual, ATV trails and that sort of thing all through these mountains. Yes, I know it's all just more sand and rocks, but I like to think of this being abstract art. Art appreciation. And just beyond the mountains that are closest to us, it's a little smaller area. There's a valley, and then beyond the valley is the larger area of the Mormon Mountains. And that's the valley between the two areas, and we're coming up on the left side, the bigger area of the Mormon Mountains, some of which are being buried in clouds. In this area, I think the peaks are just in the clouds a little ways, but we'll stay off to the side. Now I'm making a turn just to show, turn back to the northwest. There's a huge flat area, and that leads pretty much directly to Area 51 in Groom Lake, about 100 miles in that direction. Now we're back pretty much heading west. Now we're completing the circle, and we're probably heading a little bit southwest right now. Wappa Valley and Overton will be off the wingtip to the left. And just in the center, lower center, it looks like a wash or a very small river, a little green area that's heading towards Lake Mead. I don't know if that river would have water in it all the time, but it looks like it might have a little bit in right now. There is a road and possibly a railroad also following that wet area or the wash or the little river. And straight up ahead, I think we're looking at Wappa Valley, and that little patch of white water might be their reservoir. And that valley and the wash, the road, and that little green area around it, it looks like it continues. And I'm sure it's heading eventually towards Lake Mead. There's a chance that this is the start of the Muddy River. Looks like there might be a little water in there. And we're making a turn just to get a better view of some of the more sand and rocks. And a big flat area. Probably looking a little southeast, the tops of the Mormon Mountains, and they appear to be in cloud. And we have the usual situation Off on the left, the mountains, and on the right side is a huge flat area. Now we're probably looking close to straight east, and that the distant mountain in the upper right, that I believe is the small mountain part of this that we circled in the early part of the video. And there's a huge flat area as usual. And if I remember right, we'll fly right alongside in a few minutes, right alongside of that small mountain that's coming up in the center of the view. Off on the left, see the higher part of the Mormon Mountains. Looks like they're still inside of some clouds. At least the peaks are. And we're heading just about straight east right now. the wiggling in the camera, it's a little bit of turbulence that's rocking the airplane just a bit. And straight ahead, a little bit to the right, is that smaller mountain that one of the first things we circled behind. And we're making a turn back towards Overton. And the big flat area, of course, part of it's Mormon Mesa, part of it is just a flat desert. Somewhere out there would be Lake Mead.